With more grace, let us begin the third day of our conference, ScTACE 2021, with a guest talk titled Chain and Needs of Engineer by Narasimhamurthy Garu. Dr. Narasimhamurthy is a registered professional traffic engineer in California, USA. He has obtained his Doctor of Philosophy in Transportation Engineering from Concordia University, Montreal, Canada. He is an expert in the area of air quality management certified from the University of Irvine, California, and also acquired a verified certification of Employee Transportation Coordinator from the Southern California Air Quality Management District. Dr. Murthy is in the field of transportation for over a tenure of 35 years and now is appreciated for his contribution to some superlative projects in the area of transportation planning, traffic engineering, urban planning, freight planning, transit planning, traffic simulation, travel demand forecasting, and intelligent transportation system. Dr. Modi worked as a consultant in the private sector and a public agency concerning the LA Metro project. He started his own consultancy in 2006, marked as Modi Transportation Consultants Incorporated, and worked on several noteworthy projects. Also, he was honored by the Transportation Research Board to assist research uh, projects on the highway capacity manual and development of unsignalized intersection guide book by National Council for Highway Research. Dr. Modi accompanied the director of the Federal Transit Authority, Mr. James Simpson, in presenting their work on BRT at Hyderabad. He aided the Los Angeles Public Health De- Department in improving two chapters for the Model Street Design Manual. Dr. Modi has more than 25 publications in the field of transportation, and he co-authored a text titled Transportation Engineering Basics, second edition, published by the American Society of Civil Engineers. Besides all the technical aspects, Dr. Modi is prized for the social works and his rightful thought of establishing driver education and enlightenment program, which is remarkable. He is currently in association with Dr. Pala Girish Kumar, founder of SwecISA, with a prime vision to drive the society towards a self-disciplined routine concurring road safety as a crucial aspect and students as the supreme movers so as to instigate well disciplined and responsible future generations. Dr. Murthy showed a great deal of assistance to the students and the Department of Civil Engineering SVCW and has been motivated at all the times. With this short bio, I take the honor to welcome our renowned speaker, Dr. Narasimha Murthy Garu, to proceed forward with the guest talk.
Thank you so much. Appreciate it for your introduction. It's a great pleasure to be back again. And I know the last 2 days, everyone must have heard about different subjects and everything, and might have got information as what you need to do. But I chose not to write a paper on any subject of my specialty. I thought that the young engineers of today, particularly with the COVID being here for the last 2 years now, considering this October of 2021 and October of 2019 when all this started, I thought there is a almost a 2 year gap in what we were doing normally has been changed completely. The Our whole life for the last 2 years has changed for many people, and we all know about it. That's one of the main reasons I thought that I should somehow bring to the attention of young engineers, particularly the young engineers, the sense of young people who are in colleges, who are students, and who are now in this particular college, what they should be learning as they move along. How could they adapt to change, and what is their need? Let us go slowly about it. Change and needs of young engineers. That's the title of my paper. But one thing you all have to understand is change is inevitable. That means you will not be able to avoid changes in your life, in your daily life, as well as even within morning, afternoon, and evening. The changes will be there in your life. But the why does it happen? We sometimes wonder about it. The main reason is life is dynamic. You need to understand it. It's not static, right? But any change for that matter is not easily adopted by us. Sometimes we quickly adopt it, but sometimes we are not able to adopt it. Sometimes we may reject it, or it may be very difficult for us to adopt change. But the important thing for you to remember is change will be there and you need to adapt to it. And change happens all around us. We seem to ignore it, but it does happen when you're standing at an intersection. Somebody honks at you, some of the signal time changes, some pedestrian is crossing. So you need to adapt to the change right in front of you and then move on. So, but when you consider the way the arrival of COVID 19, it's been something that very, very great that 2 years has gone by and so many things have changed. So many things have changed. So let us see how we can move forward. What should we do during and after the COVID-19? That is, probably you are looking almost another 6 to 8 months, say like next June, July, or something. That could happen. But the main objective of my writing this paper was to assist young engineers and students, especially the students, how to cope with changes, what skills you need with your degree. What happens is, as I was also a student one day, today I may be talking to you about this change and how to adapt. But the most important thing you have to remember is in the 70s, I was also a student. Did I get all the information along the way for me to be what I am today? Or how did I take all the changes that came across my life? I thought from my past experiences, I thought I'd put this paper together so that you could understand how to adapt to change. What skills you need with your degree. See, the degree is simply tells somebody who hires you that you can be trained. It doesn't say that you can do the job. Most of the time, you go to a job and you learn there. And what qualities one should have as a student before you go to work? What are the things that you need to develop? That's something that I wanted to tell you guys so that you will go prepared when you leave the college, or while you are in college also you can adopt the things that I'm going to talk to you next, that why you need it, how it will develop your career, and how you could be successful. The change, the first one says the art of life lies in a constant readjustment of our surroundings, which is true. I think most of you will agree. From, once you were in 7th standard, then you came to 10th standard, then you moved to pre-university, and now you are in the engineering college. Yes, there's been a constant readjustment about your surroundings. That means including the subjects that you studied and the teachers you met and the colleges you went. And life is dynamic and subjected to change without notice, as I said in the very beginning, said by somebody unknown, but it's true. But the important thing for you to understand is how do you readjust to your new surrounding, whether at home or at work or other places, and make necessary adjustments. But the change is not just within you. The change is also within an organization. What do I mean by that? You are in the college will get many inputs from the from whoever is dealing with the university or the college. Some changes will be happening. Same with any organization. You join a consultant firm and things will be changing. That means to say that there'll be challenges for you as an individual and also for the organization, and the individual and the organization both need to adjust to the changes. So you should always understand that changes will be there and it's challenging and you need to adapt to it. But how do you do that? That's what you should think. How do I get through this changes that keep happening all the time, even while you're working or whether in college or in daily life? Aim to communicate what needs to be done. That's the key thing. You need to learn to communicate. When you say something, when you make a sentence, or when you talk to somebody, or when you deliver a message, you try to communicate what needs to be done and what is your thought and make it more clear and accurate. That is very important. Communication is very important, that you need to learn to talk, to write, and to give a speech or anything, you need to do it clearly and accurately. But in an engineering, particular engineering career, how does it happen? How does it develop, and where do you go? There are 3 or 4 stages that take place, but you should remember that failure should not stop you. Failure should not stop you. The reason is all of us have the fear of failure, but we should overcome that fear. We should be brave enough to face any failure. It doesn't matter if you one time you get low marks in an examination or in a quiz that was given in the class. You just analyze, why did I get less than the other person? Because the conditions under which you got 5 for 10 and another person getting 9 for 10, almost same. It's the same class, same teachers, same question paper that was given to you, and this almost the same environment. There could be some little things here and there, but overall the surrounding that you have is the same. Then you have to analyze, okay, you didn't fail by getting 5, but somebody got 9. But you should analyze that you should, what are the changes that I need to make in order to reach that 9 out of 10. And you draw a straight line and walk on it, not follow others. That's what Jawaharlal Nehru said. That means to say that when you look around, you will see different people behave differently, but that's not important for you to move in your career, engineering career. You draw a straight line and walk on it, and then try to determine what is your focus, what is your objective, what do you want to achieve. To be successful, you have to add skills and build your network. That's very important. It's not just coming and going to college and getting a grade or a 90 out of 100 or 98 out of 100. That doesn't completely solve all the problems. To be successful, you need to add skills and build your network. And when you go to a job interview after you complete, the question will be in the organization: who is an ideal candidate for a job? Why should we hire him or her? See, those questions are with the organization. But how well you make yourself a good applicant? By adding skills and building your network. That's what you have to be doing each year as you pass. I think there are 4 years of engineering. So the each year that you pass through in your engineering career, you need to build your skills as well as build your network. Then your best teacher is always by watching your surroundings, friends, family, and books, and try to learn as much as possible. So, if you're looking for someone to teach you, you have it right there. Your teachers, watching your surroundings, your friends, how are they doing, your family, and the books that you spend time to read. And let us take all the things that you really need. First comes is the attitude. So you have to, as young engineers and students, you should develop a very good attitude. Let me read what is there. Ability is what you have capable of doing. You certain people, for example, if you just take example the IPL cricket that is going on, somebody is able to bat well, somebody is able to bowl well, somebody is to field well. It's the capability of that person who can do it. Then motivation is what made him to be the best of best, but attitude determines how well you do it. So that's very important. If somebody, when you go to an interview and you walk out of there, you might be the best candidate on the paper that you submitted the resume and everything, but unfortunately, if your attitude is not good, they just say, I just don't like his attitude or her attitude. So it's very important that you develop attitude that define success or failure. Okay, so it's very important that you be respectful to people. It doesn't matter who it is, whether it is a peon who opens the gate for you, or somebody in a bookstore that helps you with the books when you buy, or when you walk into your library, the librarian. The most important thing is you develop the respectful attitude towards everyone. It will help you a lot. And as I've written there, if you have any bad habits, you better leave it when it is a tweak. That means a small just a coming up plant. You just break it, it's gone. But if you leave bad habits to develop with you over time, it may become a branch and you may have problem breaking it. That's why attitude is the same. So you develop good attitude from the very beginning and it will help you a lot. And a job is a job. See, we should not distinguish, like I said, between the peon or the librarian or a teacher or a guy who may fix our slippers in the roadside. The most important, whether you are a doctor or a cleaner, anybody, the most important thing is all are there trying to put food on their table. Imagine a world where there was no hunger, and just imagine it, and nobody has to do anything. But most important for living, we the people are working in order to put food on their table. So your attitude becomes very important, that you respect everyone who is trying to do their job. The second point that you need to understand is perseverance. You will not You can beat anybody if you have perseverance. Success is no accident. You have to remember that. So you don't say that somebody you got lucky or anything like that. Maybe once or twice somebody can get lucky, but success is no accident. It is hard work. Okay, and a lot of sacrifice being done, and the love of what they do is what makes them to be the best, as Pele says. And just remember, you can do anything you set your mind, but perseverance and facing your fears. Like I said in the beginning, when it comes to attitude, the failure, never think about it too much. Yes, it does happen. Like they say, if you fall down, learn to get up. That is what is important. And perseverance is something that you put your energy into learning better. For example, if somebody can do a math problem better because they practice that, or somebody can understand organic chemistry much better because they put the effort to learn about it. So same with somebody playing a better cricket or a better basketball 3-point shooter. It's the same thing, the perseverance of going after it and learning about it. So if you are, as you're moving from first year, second year, third year, and fourth year, and you want to be successful engineer, it is not achieved in one day. You had to go through the first year, pass the first year, the second year, the third year, and the fourth year. It's the same with success also. You got to go through the steps, over time, and work that was has to be done. Unlimited perseverance is required. That's why it's very important that you understand attitude and perseverance, two different things, but both are essential. And most important is, with those two, stay focused. Nothing should replace perseverance. For example, Mrs. Indra Nui, she was the head of the PepsiCo in United States, where you should read her latest book that is released. If you could get it on Amazon or something, read the book. It clearly tells what is required to be a good leader and also to be successful in your career. That is, you have to have a self reminder. Stay focused on what you want. Just put a note in front of your table, your working table, that to remind yourself that I want to be focused. That's the key thing that you need to do. And if you have attitude and perseverance, then comes other things that you need to understand in your career. It doesn't mean that it's only for engineers, or it's for any student, anybody who wants to be successful in their career. The 2.3 is courage and integrity. These are two different things. Courage is, you are capable of trying to see that justification is done at any situation, whether that it's beneficial to you or not beneficial to you, irrespective of it, you are able to stand up, to have the courage to say the right things, not fall for the trap of going into the wrong side. That is courage. But when it comes to integrity, it's very important, particularly after you leave the college and get a job, integrity becomes very important. If we say today there is so much, most of you must be knowing that there is a lot of corruption in projects, a lot of corruption, the projects were not done properly, and all things. Where do you think it came up from? Somebody didn't have the courage to stand up and say we are doing something wrong or they are doing something wrong. Nobody had the courage to say that. Then there was no integrity on the part of the people who are participating in the project. So courage and integrity is something that you should develop, so that you understand that you tell the truth, as Mahatma Gandhi has quoted. And you, if you tell the truth, you don't have to remember anything. That's a great statement from Mahatma Gandhi. Remember that in your lifetime, as you grow from your, as you move from first year to second year, third year, fourth year, and then you're leaving the college, and you make sure that you have the courage to speak the, stand up for justice, and also learn to be, have integrity in the projects that you do. Okay, that's very important. Like I wrote there, let your smile change the world, but don't let the world change your smile. Okay, it's very important. When courage and integrity, as I told you, you are fighting for justice. Integrity is very much different than courage. That's important. And practice integrity. That's important. As you go along, you make sure that, example, everyone takes bribe, right? That's what we sometimes assume. Everybody is taking bribe or gives bribe for whatever reason. So we cannot conclude that it's okay for me also to do it. Don't justify a bad cause. That's where the courage comes, when you don't justify the bad cause, but also you do not give the bribe or take a bribe. That's where your integrity comes into picture. Okay. If we want to develop a great society and a good society and equitable society for that matter, we need, we as students or as engineers, as you move forward in your lifetime, everyone should have the courage and integrity. Having known all this attitude, perseverance, courage, integrity, and all, there are other things also that you need to focus on. That is procrastination and time management. Procrastination is something that I would request. I could also be a victim of that in my college days and all, but as I went through my steps of doing bachelor's and master's and PhD and stuff like that, I understood the impact of procrastination, and I stopped doing that, and it helped my career very much. I can tell you from my own experiences. So procrastination means that you are not doing what is supposed to be done now. Let's say there is a, they have clearly told you in the class that you have a quiz on Wednesday morning at 8 o'clock in engineering mechanics, and you know about it on Friday, but you got 3 days for Wednesday to prepare. You had the weekend also, but you keep postponing preparing for the quiz till either Tuesday evening, or maybe brush through things on Wednesday morning thinking that you could do better. That is nothing but procrastinating what you could have done earlier and got a better marks. The same with your project assignments that are given to you. So procrastination is then slowly leads into, you have to learn how to manage your time. The, what happens with procrastination is it derails your career. Many good careers have been derailed because of procrastination and not understanding what is time management. How you should definitely plan your day. Entire day you need to plan it. Time management is very important. Taking a pause here, coming back to procrastination and time management, for most people, time, they just think it's infinite. You know that time is not infinite, it is 24 hours for all. If some are successful and some are not successful, or some are in between, it is the way they use their time. So pay attention during your engineering career, how you use your time and how you plan the day and how well effectively you get results at the end of the day. That's very important. And the way to do that is you start writing your journal every day, either in the morning when you get up or at the end of the day. Make it a habit. See, most habits, it's been researched and found that at least a minimum of 21 to 4 weeks, that is 28 days, is required for you to for that thing to become a habit. Anything like jogging or going to the gym or going to the library, anything, it needs the 21 days to 28 days for your mind to set it so that you feel guilty when you don't do that thing. So have this habit of writing journals and things so that you can do time management. So slowly you decrease your habit. If you have the habit of procrastination, slowly eliminate it. That's a good way to do it. That's why I wrote there, write your journal or diary each day helps to check your daily activities and adjust to it. Remember the old saying, time wasted and the spilled milk both are lost forever. So you better think about it and make one promise to yourself, never to be late either to the college or to any meeting or anything that you set up yourself as a goal. Now promise yourself never to be late. That's very important that you do the time management. Then comes, as you are moving through your years in the college and you learn, you, like I wrote there, respect of people is the cornerstone of communication and networking. It's very important that you understand that you respect everybody. That's what I said about when it came to attitude also. Some certain things repeat themselves, but the most important thing is you, it shapes, influences the association that you create yourself, with whom you're working, with whom you're, I think you must have heard even in a family, so, oh, he goes with some people we don't even know. What does it mean? It's just, they are just saying that you are influenced by the association you keep. So it's very important that to have a successful career, you have good networking and having a smiling face, which is very, see, smiling to somebody doesn't cost you much, but it does bring you relations that will last for a long time. Okay. It's the confidence that you show in communications. And influencing also is a soft skill that you need to learn. Under soft skills, the way you can talk to people and show that you are a leader and you could become a leader also comes under soft skills, by how you speak, how is your attitude, and how you manage your time. When you're on time to meetings, people will notice that how well you have come prepared. Okay, that's why the soft skills are very, very important. Don't forget about it. Just having a good A grade or a 90, 98 for 100 doesn't cut the deal in today's world. When they hire you, they would like to see that you have developed soft skills that are lead to extraordinary success for you in your life. And also listening to others and have making the habit of reading management books or any of the current books that are being published in the areas of engineering that you are interested in. And also trying to, like this conference for example, pay attention to the areas that you want to develop tomorrow, or you want to be involved in tomorrow, or you want to have an intern. You see, by looking at all the companies or all the people who are making this presentation, make notes of them, keep them in your diary. One day you may need to contact them for something that you need. So you should develop this habit of networking and trying to one day to be an influencer. Okay, it's very important that you do that. And while you are doing that, currently, I think most of you are put in teams. You will be doing lab work. You will be either you will be going out to the site to do work as a team. So it's important that when you are within a team, try to use the word we instead of I. Okay. Don't keep saying I helped you, I did this, I did that. Instead of that, we did this. We were able to be successful in writing this report and things, that when you have that teamwork spirit, okay, and everyone should be made to feel like they are in part of the team. If you are working together, you want to make the other person, whether, see, just because you know a little more than the other person shouldn't put your ego in front of you. Instead of that, you make everybody part of the team, and start building a meaningful network. That's what you'll require. You'll definitely find it once you leave the college that you need to keep in touch with your classmates, as well as those who stay back to work, those who go abroad, and those who may go national. So you need to keep your network intact. It will help you a lot. And while you are in the college now, display your abilities. It's very important. I can see that most of you have put a lot of effort in trying to organize this conference. That's a good thing. You are displaying your abilities, what you can do. It's very important that you do that. And also with the social media that you have today, use it in a meaningful way. Don't misuse the social media, and don't regret doing something stupid and in the social media. That's very important. Keep your career clean. Okay, that's very important. And as I said, not repeating myself, try to get into local, national, international. There is so much outside the world. I can tell you from my own experience, being lucky enough to work in countries like South Africa, Senegal, Qatar, UAE, Afghanistan. Even I went to Afghanistan. I mean, I know everybody said, don't go there. I said, you can't be afraid. Like I said, failure is what makes you fear. But I said, they should have the courage to go and work there. I had the opportunity to work. Now I could, even though things have gone wrong in Afghanistan, but I could still feel for the people there and know the reality of what Afghanistan is. So, and also I worked in Saudi Arabia. So I people may say different things, but for you to feel by going around the globe, you will increase your knowledge. That's why one of the great philosophers said, I would rather take a fellow who has traveled than a fellow who is well educated. So, traveling is something that you should keep in the back of your mind. That's why read, write, and share. It should never be stopped. Okay, throughout your life, make sure of that. Try to read a book at least once a month. Okay, some book. And last but not least, empathy and sharing. You all have to develop that, whether you come from a rich family or whether you come from a medium income family or a poor family, it doesn't matter. But empathy and sharing is something that you need it. I've been just read, see, I'll read you the what Mr. Our philosopher Swami Vivekananda has written. So long as the millions live in hunger and ignorance, I hold every man a traitor, who, having been educated at their expense, pays not the least heed to them. See, it so clearly says that if you got a seat in an engineering college, somebody might have been eligible, but for whatever reason, he or she may not have got into the engineering college. Just as an example, I'm saying it could happen in real life also. But what he is trying to say is, you try to do your best to help everyone. So don't be ignorant about the needs of millions of people. That doesn't mean that you go and help millions of people. You help those whom you can help. That's the key thing there. And the second one, as Roosevelt said, nobody cares how much you know. See, sometimes what happens is we think a lot of things we know and others don't know. We have that ego built up, but it doesn't matter until you show that you care about other people. That's very important. You all learn that. You'll see that how your way of doing things and how you improve all aspects that we talked about, like the attitude, the perseverance, the courage, the integrity, and everything will add into you if you learn to have the empathy for others and also have the quality of sharing. That's very important. Empathy is feeling and understanding the needs and pains of others. Not pain doesn't mean that real pain. Sometimes your friend may not be able to do the assignment. You should definitely help. There is nothing wrong in helping others or making somebody understand. You can give a small, if some a group of your students are not able to understand a problem in dynamics, you if you know better, you just arrange for a virtual. Today you guys are lucky, you got the virtual thing, and you can say, hey, here, I will try to teach you how to do this. Pain doesn't mean here that It's real pain. It's a pain of anything that you could share with others. Empathy is that's what it is about. Okay, and for example, empathy is also when you see a guy on the roadside. If he doesn't have anything to eat, don't give money. Instead of giving money, you just buy him a idli or a dosa or something like that. Okay, and I'm going to almost end it. I end it in I got 30 minutes here, but I'll summarize to you. I'll just read them and then tell you what exactly that you should develop your skills. Okay, become an effective communicator and leader, paving the way for career success. That's very important. Communication is the key to your success. Okay, so practice that, both writing, reading, and also public speak. Don't be afraid of public. Being an engineer, if you want to be very successful, you need to learn to make good presentations and have a good public speaking capability. Okay, and having the courage to have difficult conversation with family, friends, and others. See, whatever the situation, like Gandhi said, if you tell the truth, you don't have to remember anything. So be be courageous and have conversation with your family, friends, and others. Okay, all the time. Anything it is, you don't understand something, you have done something wrong, or you want to change something, or you don't want to be in this branch of engineering, but you want to be in another one, or you want to change from engineering to medical. Have the courage to speak with your family, friends, and others. That is important that you develop that. And one thing is, never do that. If you give your word to somebody, don't erode your trust by not following it up. Don't weaken your relationship over time. Okay, it's very important. Follow what you said. And learning to apologize and to say sorry is not going to bring you down. Remember that. That is one thing people make mistake. If I apologize or if I say sorry, it is wrong. It's not. It actually strengthens you over time. Okay, I could tell you from my experience. And learn to create give and take. That's very important. Empathy is very important and sharing is very important. Always try to create a win-win situation. Don't think of losing, but try to create a win-win situation. Giving up sometimes does help both sides. Okay, that's very important that you learn about it. And lastly, I tell all of you, life is only a yield sign. Okay, as you move through it, it's an yield sign and it's dynamic, but it's not a stop sign. Okay, with that, I end my talk and I wish every one of you all the success in your career. And change is something you all need to learn and adopt. That's very important. Okay, thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, sir, Murthy sir, for your very, very inspirational talk given to the students and participants. Hopefully, we will all adopt all these things and try to uh, develop ourselves in the society. Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you. Thank you. Appreciate it. Okay, carry on. And I wish the conference all success.
Yes,
Okay,
sir.
take care.
Yes, yes. Thank you.
Take
Thank
care.
you. Take
Bye
care.
bye.
Take care,
Bye
sir. Yeah.
bye.
Bye, bye, sir. Yeah. Please
Thank you,
proceed with the next
sir.
presentation.
Thank you, sir, for such remarkable talk, and we are grateful to you for your support and encouragement, sir. Once again, thank you so much, sir.
Thank you.
Mo-
Thank you. Take care.
Moving
Take care.
ahead, yes, sir. Now, moving ahead, I take the honor to introduce our esteemed speaker, Dr. Pala Girish Kumar Garu, of the keynote titled Optimization Techniques for Routing of Emergency Vehicles. Dr. Pala Girish Kumar has obtained his master's in Transportation Engineering and Management from National Institute of Technology, Tiruchirappalli in 2014 and PhD in Civil Engineering from National Institute of Technology, Tiruchirappalli in 2018. He started his career as an assistant professor at GEC and currently working as the head and associate professor at Sri Vishnu Engineering College for Women, Autonomous Bhimavaram, since 2019. At a very adolescent age, he has been delegated as the head of the Department of Civil Engineering at SPECW. Dr. Pala has guided one MTech dissertation and 15 UG projects in the areas of pedestrian traffic, self-healing pavements, simulation, route optimization, RAP were guided by him and many more on board. Dr. Pala is the prime mover and instigator of Royal Civil Colloquium established in the year 2019, whose cardinal motto is to expose women students to the technical and industrial aspects of areas. Dr. Pala was the founder of the Career Development Program in SPECW that functions in indulging technical and non-technical skills. He also reinstated the Indian Concrete Institute student chapter in SPECW and wrapped the Outstanding Student Chapter of Andhra Pradesh 2020 award from ICI Ultratech. In addition to the initiatives taken, Dr. Pala established a new association on 21st April 2021 called SPEC Engineers Association of Road Safety and Awareness, aiming to create road safety and driver awareness among students of school and college level. He holds a lifetime membership in professional bodies like the Indian Geotechnical Society and Institution of Engineers India. In addition to all these institutional flourishment, he had organized several workshops for faculty and students, has consistently worked on various virtual programs like String Webinar Series, Digital Vying 2K20, an online events platform, short term training programs, AICTE sponsored programs, and many drafted to be organized as well. He was honored with the National Award from the Government of Tamil Nadu for the best project during the year 2014, Best Paper Award received for the paper presented in International Conference NIT Tirchi, and also won the International Best Researcher Award of the year 2020 in the area of terra mechanics and nanomaterials in pavements from IDMAS Learning Center, Malaysia, and World Research Council. Apart from being an active facilitator, he holds the stance as National Advisory Committee member of the International Conference on Advancements and Innovations in Civil Engineering. Dr. Pala was induced as the editorial board member of the Journal of Review in Science and Engineering and also a reviewer of the Transportation Research Board, International Journal of Engineering Sciences, Advanced Computing and Biotechnology, Global Journal of Research in Engineering, USA, Silicon Journal, and two more journals. Besides all, Dr. Pala is the ambassador of Procedia, the conference managing system, and representing India. He has blazoned 18 publications at international conferences, 15 plus at national conferences, 30 plus publications in well reputed international and national journals, and a monograph titled Speed Detection and Management, an ITS application, with Lambert Publishers UK and authored two book chapters as well. And now I take this privilege to welcome our eminent speaker, Dr. Pala Girish Kumar Garu, to proceed with his expertise talk.
Thank you, Sri. Thank you very much, Sri Sai Krishna. I hope this screen is visible to all of you. You're able to
Yes,
see
sir.
my screen? Yeah, thank you.
Yes, sir.
So, well, I have very short time. Almost I take only 15 minutes to go with the next speaker. So quickly, I'll run through this very important and interesting topic. So, well, for the past 2 days, we are continuously hearing a lot of eminent speakers, talks on different topics. Like I was able to witness a very good topic on 3D concrete printing, and someone talked about the sustainability in engineering. Someone talked about the life cycle sustainability of civil infrastructure. Someone talked about the data mining and use of decision making technology. And today we have very great inspirational talk by Dr. Narasimhamurthy. And today I'm here to talk about a very interesting and a very needy topic: the optimization techniques for routing of emergency vehicle. So coming to this, before straight away taking to this, I'll try to give a very small concept of optimization, and then I'll talk about and discuss about the case study which our students have done very recently. Yeah, coming to this, you can see my contents of the presentation. I'll talk about the optimization, like I'll talk about what is optimization, why the optimization is so necessary, and necessity of that optimization, and then a little talk about the classification of optimization, and then we'll show you some of the applications of optimization, and then what are the steps involved in optimization techniques when one can adopt for doing some solving a problem, and then a case study will be discussed in detail which our students have done. So moving to the optimization, we should know what is optimization. Yes, many of us might be knowing this optimization, something that literally give or to obtain or achieve the best possible result under any given circumstances. Or maybe sometimes we can even also say this is a process of finding the best way of using the existing resources while taking into account of all the factors that influences the decision you take while doing any experiment or survey or whatever, the test trial. So basically, the main objective or the primary motto of this optimization may not be optimize absolutely, but to compromise effectively, and thereby to produce a best formulation under a given set of restrictions. And yes, we need to think why this optimization is so necessary. Because today I can say this optimization is a future, because it can give or in terms of investing cost, or maybe in terms of giving a more efficiency, or maybe energy saving. These all the very important critical aspects. That is why this optimization is so important and it is so necessary. Also, this optimization involves with various disciplines which can be used to develop various mathematical formulations to improve its efficiency, whatever the problem you address. So moving to the classification of optimization, this is a very generalized classification. You could see the different types of optimization methods based on the classical meta heuristics, and based on that, again it is classified as a population based and trajectory based. And again we would see evolutionary and swarm intelligence. Under that we will get the general genetic algorithm and differential evolution, and under swarm intelligence, particle swarm optimization and colony optimization, and B algorithm. So in this we have adopted for the case study and colony optimization, since it gives the optimal path for finding the route for emergency vehicle. So moving to that, maybe this could be treated as a very deep classification. In this I would like to emphasize very important classifications of optimization based on constraints and based on the nature of design variables, maybe based on the physical structure. So when you talk about the classification of optimization based on constraint, so it is classified as a constrained and unconstrained optimization, where the Lagrangian method and approach was used in constrained optimization, whereas the least square approach was used followed under unconstrained optimization. So when you talk about this, also we could able to differentiate these two, where this unconstrained optimization is something, it is an optimization problem in which the decision maker can choose the level of activities from an unrestricted set of values. Whereas here constrained optimization on the other side, so it is an optimization problem in which the decision maker can choose values for the choice variables from a restricted set of values. So I could this is a major difference of these two, unconstrained and constrained, based on the constraints. So when you talk about the classification based on the nature of design variables, we have a static optimization and dynamic optimization. And when you talk about the physical structure basis, the optimization classified as optimal control and suboptimal control. So basically we generally go with for this case study we have adopted the ant colony optimization, which comes under the swarm intelligence, which is absolutely based on population based search. And also taboo search we have used this one of the approach, which comes under the single solution based search, which is a part of meta heuristic classification. So these all about a very simple introduction about the classification of optimization. Moving to the application of optimization, so now I could say people uses optimization often without actually realizing, for simple things such as traveling from one place to another, or maybe time management purpose. So this, however, this optimization finds many applications in engineering, science, business, economics, etc. For example, you talk about engineering applications, maybe optimizations can be used to design a water resources system to get to give its maximum benefit. Also, maybe you can use the optimization techniques for designing pumps, turbines, heat transfer equipment to get its maximum efficiency. We will also talk in detail about the engineering applications in the next slide. So also this optimization has many applications in chemicals, chemical processing, or mineral processing, oil gas industry, or petroleum industry, or pharmaceutical industries, and other related industries. However, the optimization of a chemical and related processes requires a mathematical model that describes and predicts the process behavior. So that is why this optimization technique is very important. So these are the very critical engineering examples with respect to the civil engineering background. So if you see the pictures, you could see I have given a picture, an example of water resources system. I gave an example, the picture represent the reservoir operations. Now you can think how this optimization can be useful in in addressing the problems with respect to water resources system. Yes, of course, this optimization techniques can be used to, as I said, mentioned in the previous slide, to design a urban pipe system which can, which can meet the demand of the household, or which can even minimize the cost of the pipe system, or maybe you can also meet the requirements of water pressure of all at all nodes of all the at the distribution system, and maybe you can even optimize the position of valves. So that is how this optimization technique can be used for this example, that is a water resources system. When you talk about the reservoir operations, this optimization will be used in a multi-purpose way, and therefore maybe you can apply this technique in order to analyze the give a solution on flood controlling, or maybe you can also do a kind of a give a solution on or analysis on hydropower generation, or maybe you can also look at the meeting the demand of the irrigation, or meeting or maintaining the downstream water quality. So these are the important aspects that how this optimization technique can be utilized. For an example, as I mentioned, for the reservoir operations. So another two important examples I mentioned here. The picture gives a clear thought for you. Maybe it is related to transportation. You can see a lot of vehicles, and there could be a lot of traffic congestion. So for having a such scenario, definitely the emergency vehicles will definitely have a very big trouble and problem, because you cannot move even with this kind of a situation. That's why vehicle routing problem is a very important. One should address that. So that is why this optimization techniques can also be used to address the problem for the clearing or routing the emergency vehicle, providing an optimal path and providing a possible shortest path for its movement. And another example I showed in the bottom of the slide, two pictures, that is a structural engineering example. So the optimization technique is also can be adopted, can be used to design or reinforced concrete frame members, and maybe you can also work on a 3D steel structure frames to work on the shape, maybe to work on the design and connections. So that is how this optimization having a very wide applications on the engineering, especially in civil engineering background. So now I'll quickly tell you what are the steps that in this optimization can be taken in we can follow. So basically we need to choose the design variables, and then we need to formulate the constraints, and then formulating the objective functions, and we have to set up the variable limits, and then we need to choose an algorithm to solve certain problem based on your requirement. And then you need to by solving this and giving all inputs, you will get an optimal solution. So that is how you are going to do in the optimization techniques. So simply I'm expressing you like to process the model development simulation, formulating the optimization problem, and solution the improve optimization results obtained, and finally selecting the optimal solution for your problem. So that is a very important thing that for all of us. And now moving to the case study. So moving to the case study. So this is a case study we have done in the Rajahmundry area, and this is done by one of our student batch. So the main reason doing this is, well, you all know that one of the main problem faced by every road user in the traffic is the traffic congestion. So due to this, the arrival time of an emergency vehicle from rescue spot or a place to a destination spot or a place has been decreased. So the rescue time of the victim is also gradually decreasing. That is why I can say that the survival rate of the victim in emergency vehicle are being gradually decreasing due to these traffic issues, traffic problems. So that's why we need to address this by having a kind of a research on routing for emergency vehicle. And that is why routing is very important for emergency vehicle, which has become very critical to meet the requirements of an urban area during accidents or maybe natural disasters also you can take into account. So mainly this work mainly focuses to bring out an effective route of emergency vehicle to work at its best, and that is saving people lives in time by considering various roads and traffic conditions. So we have undergone with the different algorithms and models which were given already by the various researchers, and we were able to develop a new algorithm and modified ant colony algorithm that I'm going to show you in the next slides. And the final motto and goal of this project is to provide a secured alarm to the surrounding rescue teams in and around the possible routes, so that they can even travel with less time and they can able to save the victim's life from the accident severity. So we could see the pictures placed in the bottom of the slide. See, this is the ambulance that is got stuck in the traffic, trying hard to find its path. So this is why we need to give a proper information to the emergency vehicle people, so that they'll find out a very shortest path and very less busiest road, so that people can save lives. So for this project, we have adopted 4 clusters and 4 different roads as a cluster. Cluster 1, you could see one type of road, and cluster 2 and cluster 3 and cluster 4. So these are the 4 roads where we were able to witness a huge number of road accidents taking place, and also we have collected a lot of other data, like traffic volume, traffic speed data, and block spots. Also, we have collected the information of hospitals. We have collected the information of hospital locations. Also, we have collected the information of the availability of doctors. So these are what the necessary data to feed into the algorithm we have collected, and we were able to develop a model. So basically, this project gives used a multi-rescue routing model, so that the number of victims can be saved at a time without any delay. That was the whole idea of this project. We have also created a centralized system of networks to gather all the emergency vehicles onto a single platform. So we also make sure that this is user friendly, and the main most important constraint we have considered is an immediate response. So that is how we have taken and conducted this research, and we were able to find out an optimal path for the emergency vehicle. We were able to reduce the waiting time of emergency vehicle at traffic intersections, and also we are able to develop a secure and immediate response from the base stations. Excuse me. And we were able to provide a required rescue model for a multiple accident spots. That is the whole idea that we were able to fulfill. So quickly, I will go through the slides, because these are the various models presented, and what are the ultimate remarks from these models for routing of emergency vehicles from the existing research studies. And this is the various algorithms given by various assistants and the other and the followed remarks. And now, and these are certain abbreviations that one should know, that MORR is a multi-objective rescue routing, and anti-colony optimization ACO, and TS is taboo search. And moving to the methodology of this project, this research, you could see we were able to select clusters, and then we have done conduct experiment and surveys. And through that, we were able to get the qualitative and quantitative data, and and then we were able to generate using the existing algorithm, and by feeding proper inputs which are necessary, and we were able to analyze the different paths and come up with an optimized path. So now you see quickly the data which we collected. We collected different block spot locations, and also we have collected registered vehicles under 2 categories. One is non-transport vehicles, and another one is a transport vehicles from RTO office. And the traffic volume data is collected, and speed data also collected through the speed studies, and then accident data for the last 4 years, and the available hospitals and the hospital locations and hospital timings and ambulance services. So these are the important parameters and inputs that are needed to generate an optimal route. And yeah, this is the definition of a block spot, where you see number of accidents frequently, within a stretch of 500 meters in last at least 3 calendar years. So that we call it as a black spot. So we have identified different block spots based on the collected data from the RTO, and you could see the particulars of block spots on major district roads and other district roads. And yeah, these are the particulars of black spots. These are the you could see 18 block spots identified on National Highway 16 with the different road stretch with different cross sections. And then this is also different particulars of block spots, different block spots, 22 block spots identified on state highways, and with you should see. And then coming to this, as I mentioned, we also collected the registered vehicles under 2 categories. One is the non-transport vehicles, and another one is the transport vehicles. So under non-transport vehicles, we categorized vehicles under motor car, motorcycle, and others, and tractor trailers. So here, transport vehicles we categorized into auto rickshaw, educational institution buses, goods carriages, motor cab, private service vehicles, stage carriages, tractor trailers. So these are the 2 categories we taken into count. as a non-transport vehicles and transport vehicles. Here we were able to collect the information. You could see the percentage of different categories of vehicles under non-transport and transport. So these are the data which is very necessary to feed as input. And then the traffic volume and speed data, which I have mentioned in the earlier slide. So we collected a data of traffic volume, traffic composition from right from morning 7 to evening 4, and we could able to witness the peak traffic. We were able to witness at 9 a.m. to 10 a.m., which you can see here on in the figure for this road, cluster 1 from south to north direction. And this is the other side, the north to south direction. You could see the peak hour. We are able to witness from 10 to 11 a.m. As its maximum traffic. Yeah. So then moving to the next cluster 2, this is for south to north direction. So here also you could see the peak hour we were able to witness at 11 to 12 p.m. in the particular road in that direction, south to north, at that spot. Similarly, on the other side, opposite road, from north-south direction, we were able to see the peak hour volume at 8 to 9 a.m. So you could see in the figure the number of vehicles. Maybe it is a bike or a car or auto or LCV and HCV. So that is the peak hour. On the cluster 3, with one direction, south to north direction, we were able to also conduct the traffic volume study from 7 to evening 4, and we were able to see the peak hour volume arrived at 9 to 10 a.m. in south north direction. And in the next figure, in the opposite road, that is north to south, at that cluster 3 road, we were able to witness the traffic, the peak hour traffic during 10 a.m. to 11 a.m. So here, this is another cluster 4. This is another road, the south north direction, and you could see that peak hour traffic we were able to arrive at 9 to 10 a.m. And I'm not mentioning the number, so because I'm just quickly running through, just try to understand this. This is a peak hour we noticed at this particular time, 9 to 10 a.m. And on the other side, north to south direction, we were able to witness the peak hour, see 8 to 9. Again, depends on the importance of that. So after that, after collecting the data for traffic composition, traffic volume composition, we have converted that entire traffic composition, volume composition into passenger car unit. So because passenger car unit is a single unit that you can club every vehicle into one category. That is why this passenger car unit is meant for. And for car and taxi, PCU is 1, and for cycle and motorcycle it is 0.5, and bus and truck it is 3, and horse-drawn cart it is 4. Bullock cart, for that PCU is 6, and for larger type of bullock cart it is 8. So using this category, we have classified, we have converted all this traffic volume composition into PCU unit, and then we have used that input. So this is the same thing what I've shown now. Traffic volume in terms of percentage. Okay, I'm not showing this for a larger time and quickly going now. So we have seen so far the collection of data for a traffic for the traffic composition, traffic volume composition, and we have seen the data for block spot identification, block spot locations, and also we have seen registered vehicles also as transport vehicles and non-transport vehicles, categorizing that into two. So now also you see the data collected from the accident data for the year 2017 in Rajahmundry. These are the accident data on a vehicle wise for the year 2017. So you could see number of accidents for different category of vehicles, and the number of deaths, the fatalities, and number of injuries. Okay, and then this is another year 2018, the accident data for a different category of vehicles, the number of accidents, and the number of fatalities, and then the number of injuries. So like this we have collected for the last 3-4 years, and then you could see the slide which shows that difference in accidents and number of deaths and number of injuries year wise. So 2017, 18, 19. So having all this data and also the available hospital and location of hospital and the ambulance data, you were able to generate develop an algorithm model using the concept of anti-colony algorithm. The anti-colony algorithm is something that is like ants finding a path for ants going or searching for a food. So that's why this name has comes into picture, ant-colony algorithm. So we are able to find out the optimal path using this algorithm we generated, and we have run all the we have given all inputs whatever we have collected using taboo search, and finding the best optimal solution as an end of the output. So this is algorithm developed, and we have all given input. We have given the input, and this is the output you can see. So this is what is it? The spot of the accident, and this is where you could see the network, built and given different locations, different base stations. So one can identify the shortest path wherever it is easy to access, and that ambulance and that emergency vehicle can route itself and reach that base station and have that first aid treatment, or the victim can be treated. So this is another road, this is one road, and this is another road, another cluster, and this is another cluster. So this is how we were able to give an optimal path for emergency vehicle using anti-colony algorithm. So coming to the future scope of this research, maybe you can develop a routing management system which can be modified, incorporating sensors attaching to roadside infrastructure to give it a better performance, and also enabling the details of doctors availability in the hospital, which we have not considered now, and the sub centers to check and provide effective route for emergency vehicle. So again, another important future scope would be to developing an additional feature that can help to identify victims' condition and further help in providing necessary treatment by routing emergency vehicles in the possible shortest way. So coming to the summary and conclusion of the study of this session, I talked about a very basic about the optimization. I have defined what is optimization and then why optimization is necessary, because it's a future and it's very easy, and also to give a more efficient result, it could be more energy saving. Maybe the investment cost also comes into picture. So that's why I said this is why important to adopt the optimization. I talked about the classification of optimization on a general basis as well as a deep. Then I've talked about applications of optimization, and also very brief examples in engineering, especially considering the civil engineering aspects. And then I've talked about the steps involved when one considered the optimization techniques to be adopted for the study that they are doing. And then we have seen the case study, the importance of routing of emergency vehicles through the optimization techniques. And finally, I could say, this optimization is something, you could see in my picture. You can see in my picture on the slide, moving from what happened and what will happen to what should we do. The more we know about something, the more we see where optimization can be applied. So many examples have discussed. For example, even for a personal decision making, also you can use this optimization. For example, finding a fastest route for home, maybe office, for a class. Maybe you can use this optimization techniques for optimal allocation of time for your work based on the priority. Also, when it comes into budgeting, also maybe this can also be adopted. So finally, I want to conclude this saying that optimization is something moving from what happened and what will happen to what should we do. So with this note, I'll try to conclude and close. Thank you very much. We are running out of time. That's why I quickly ran through this complete talk. Sorry if you are unable to understand this. Hopefully, many of you might be knowing all these things. Thank you very much for the opportunity and listening to me well. Thank you. Over to you,
Yes,
Sri
sir.
Sai. Yeah.
Yes, sir. It was indeed an excellent talk, sir. And I would like to take this opportunity to thank you on behalf of all the audience who are captivated by your talk. And once again, thank you so much, sir. Proceeding further with the guest talk titled Precast Communication System, an Insight and Indian Scenario and Way Forward by Engineer S. Satyasilan Garu. Engineer S. Satyasilan obtained his bachelor's degree in civil engineering from Vitwellur in 2007, master's in structural engineering and PhD in precast structures from NIT Trichy in the year 2011 and 2018. Engineer S. Satyasilan worked as consulting structural engineer during the academic year 2012 to 2014, principal structural engineer during the academic year 2014 to 2018, principal structural manager during the academic year 2018 to 2020, and currently working as technical head at Teamage Precast in Tamil Nadu from 2020 to till date. During his bachelor's, he was awarded with 3 academic merit awards for academic year 2004 to 2005, 2005 to 2006, and 2006 to 2007 for having secured university rank. During his masters, he won gold medal for university rank and was awarded with Best Outgoing Student of Structural Engineering Certificate of Merit for having secured university rank. He delivered guest lectures in the field of precast analysis and design. Engineer S. Satyaseelan involved in cost estimation of Brahmaputra Petrochemical Project Assam. He published a research paper in geomechanics and geoengineering. An international journal published a research paper in structural mechanics in the area of shear buckling of steel. Engineer S. Satyaseelan involved in cost estimation of Brahmaputra Petrochemical Project Assam. With this short intro, I would like to call upon Engineer S. Satyaseelan Garu to proceed further with his talk.
Sir, welcome, sir. Sir, good morning to you. Sir, hello. Satyaseelam garu, hello. Hello, sir. Good morning.
Yeah, good morning. Can we start?
Yes, sir. Please proceed, sir.
Yeah, okay.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah. So, good morning to all. So, in the next 15 minutes, I just want you to understand what is precast and what it can be done in precast. That is the two intention, and what's the Indian market right now for precast, and what is to be done for its growth in India. So, these are the four things we are going to see. So, with this, I think I can. Shall I share my screen?
Sure, sir. Sure, sir. Please proceed, sir.
Are you able to see my screen?
Sir, yes, sir. Screen we are able to see, sir. PPT we are unable to see, sir.
Now?
Now it is coming, sir. Just give a second. Yes, sir. It is clear, sir. Can you make it a full screen?
Yeah.
Ah.
Is it visible?
Sir, visible, sir.
Okay. Shall we proceed?
Sir, please proceed, sir. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. So this is our typically a base plant located in Coimbatore, Tamil Nadu. This is a typical precast plant. And this is a area view of our plant. This is our one of our plant. Rest of the plants are located in various parts of South India. See, the thing is the team edge. We started, and in fact, not team edge, precast. The main motto should be, it should be easier technology. At the same time, it should be faster. Given the faster and easier, it should be better also. So that is the motto of a precast, or any precast should satisfy these three categories. So that's why we kept these three as our company motto. Basically, there are two types of system. Why I kept first slide as this structural wall system is normally this will not be there in your conventional system. Right now, my one is coming up, but in my one you won't have a provision for these kind of various architectural projection. Compared to my one in precast, you can have any kind of projections in your elevation. So basically, there are two type of system. One is structural wall slab system, which you are seeing now. Second is your conventional moment frame system. So both can be possible in precast. The main advantage is very high. Suppose why I am saying is the casting is being done horizontally with good vibration. So the compaction is so good that you can directly go for painting. So once I close all the doors to the environmental factors, thereby we can reduce the corrosion, thereby you can increase the life of the structure. So that's the main advantage. Like at the same cost, we are having a technology where which we can go faster, and at the same time we can get a very durable product. So that is the main advantage of precast. That's why German companies now preferring precast in India. They are investing in India, and these are the German projects, because German, they have a specification that there should not be any even pinholes. So that's why they came to us for executing their project. This is a slide typically I will show to any of the newcomers to precast. This is a slice of a longitudinal section of a building. Normally, unlike conventional, here we used to erect structures in zone. Depends upon the crane capacity and area availability around the site. Suppose your area is so congested, I will erect one half of the building. I will move my crane, then I will erect the next half, and I will come out. So the main intention for me is, here you can see this connection. You see my beam is resting on it, on the column, and above it again column is there. There is no top bar connection. So this will be like a simply supported connection. Whereas here you see my whole beam is sitting on the column. So that means I will do all junction detailing here. So this will be your moment connection. So just to show you what is simply supported, what is moment connection, for that I just included. And if you see truly simply supported is this one. You see there is a corbel, there is a beam, and in between column is continuing. So these kinds we can use. If we go, here the advantage of this type of connection is you can go for a multi-tier column. Even for 4 floors, you can have a single column. So now you seen frame structure with a simply supported connection, these two, and there is a moment connection. So I want to say that even we can make any type of ductile connection to take care of the heaviest earthquake using the precast. And this part is full of shear wall. Why we need to go for a shear wall, structural wall, is you can finish the building as soon as possible. That's why our main idea is we will go for a structural wall wherever possible, so that your infill wall, associated plastering work, all those things will get minimized. And another major advantage of this is staircase. You know, the shuttering will be very difficult normally for a staircase, where which it is very easy in precast, so that you can have access to the next floor, so that all your finishing work can be carried out parallelly. So carrying the work in parallel mode is the secret, is the main reason by which precast will consume very less time when compared to conventional concrete. Another thing is it is environmental, not much dependent on environmental, because the elements are being casted in a factory controlled environment, so that even rain is there, you can continue the erection. And once the slab is been done, the below floor you see here, the false ceiling work is been going on. You see half of the building is only done, but still false ceiling is going on here. So these are the, you see escalator is been erected. My erection is going on in the upper floor, still half of the building is to be done. But still you see flooring, escalator, all those things is being done. So this is the advantage of precast. Whereas these kind of thing is little not possible in other technology. There are various technology. Apart from that, we have My1 technology, which is a serious competitor for this technology. But compared to My1, My1 also has some of the advantages. But comparatively, precast is having more, and it has more versatility in doing the project. This is a typical one. Now I completed the 3 zones. Now this is the last zone. After completing this first zone, second zone, third zone, then I will come out. I will erect this C portion, then I will come out. So you see the walls and all, it will be almost equal to mirror finish. That's why I'm saying you can go for a touch-up putty and you can finish the structure. So now you've seen 2 type of structural system. One is the column frame system, another is a structural wall slab system. That's the main intention I shown this photo. Now you are going to see a little small video where which it is a self-explanatory, and you will come to know how the structural elements are being produced in the factory. Now the construction industry is moving towards like a manufacturing industry, like a production industry, such a way that all the overheads shall be reduced. You will have a uniform quality because most are mechanized. So once labor part is reduced, there will be less uncertainty. Once there is less uncertainty, there will be less cost and less time will take to complete the project. So these are the various associated benefits of the precast. So with this, we'll see this video.
Change, the force that shapes the business world. Change can be immense, complex, changing too. Easier, faster, better seems to be the mantra of this dynamic industry. And Teenage Precast believes that precast construction is the ideal solution to construct these buildings. Teenage Precast, part of the Chennai Silks conglomerate, was incorporated in 2011 with a commitment to become the leader in its arena through the use of commitment to become the leader was incorporated in 2011. With 2011.
You see the quality and chamfer. So this is what you are going to achieve. You are going to cast horizontally. So even a wall height of 8 meter by 4 meter, the same quality shall be maintained. Otherwise, it will be very difficult if you do it in cast into where which you have to do 8 meter shuttering, which is really impossible. It will take a lot of time. Honeycombing will be happening. All those things will be there. But here everything is casted in a horizontal bed. So element of any height and size shall be casted in the same quality. That's the advantage.
With a commitment to become the
This is the horizontal casting I'm saying.
leader in its arena through the use of modern and sophisticated technology.
Other important thing when compared to conventional is the moment you mix the water, the time gap between the mixing of water to your mix and its time to pour in its intended place, that is inside. Normally it will take 2 hours, 3 hours in your conventional, where which you will have a degradation in the quality. But those things and all will never happen in precast. In the second, in 60, in 120 seconds from the time of mixing of water, your element will be casted. So you think of the quality which you are maintaining, which can be maintained in precast. That's the second advantage.
The group continues in its endeavor to reach out to customers beyond the barriers and boundaries. The manufacturing facility of Teenage Precast is a sprawling 22-acre property at Kangayam, about 70 kilometers from Coimbatore in Tamil Nadu. A 1 lakh square feet of built-up area houses the factory shed with separate buildings.
So this is a typical our head office. I just shown. You see the congestion of the area nearby. It is a railway station, and this is BG+4, which has been constructed in 27 days. So this is the advantage. Where time is money, precast will be cheaper. Suppose you want to give it as a rent, or you want to produce so that your turnover will increase. So those kind of condition, precast is a viable solution.
For administrative, design, and hostel facilities. Experienced personnel, coupled with European manufacturing technology, make use of computerized batching plant, concrete distribution system.
So this fellow will take care of longitudinal movement, and this person will take of lateral movement. So the mix will be transported to this through this flying bucket to this bucket, and this bucket will pour into the mold. So that's why your casting will take very less time.
Battery molds, tilting tables, slip former.
So this is a slab system. Typically, it is like a cake manufacturing. As and when the machine moves, your slab will get casted and you can stand over it. It is a pre-tensioned slab of M50. So this you can go up to a span of 15 meters without any column.
And a fleet of specialized trailers ensures quality precast in real time. Teenage Precast has the capability to produce hollow core slabs of varying thicknesses, pre-stressed beams, columns, wall panels, frames, facades, stairs, slabs, boundary walls, and various other products. The construction expertise spans all domains of construction like commercial, institutional, industrial, and residential projects to multi-level parking facilities. Teenage Precast offers end-to-end solutions in terms of design.
I hope this would have given you a primitive idea, because in the given 20 minutes, I want to expose what is precast and what it can be done in precast. So that's my main intention. And these are the machine you seen in the video. These are the various transportation facility which we need to have to transport our elements. One is a normal flatbed, and this is a specialized trailer for transporting wall element, so that we can transport what you produce in your factory. And this I shown what are the various types of cranes which we need to erect the structure at site. Tower crane, mobile crane, traveler crane, it depends upon the site condition. Now I want to show to the freshers what is exactly beam column connection, shear wall connection and slab connection, so that you will get the idea. The fourth advantage is, you see, diameter of the rod and diameter of the hole. This is a tolerance allowed. So if any plumb out have happened, means your column will not sit. So that means this is a self-correcting system where which you don't have any problem of plumb out, all those things. It is like a Lego. It has to be fit properly. That means it has to be erected properly with its intended dimension. Otherwise it won't sit. You won't have tolerance more than 10 mm. That's the advantage of this system. Here you will see the importance of tolerance. If these columns are being not erected correctly, this beam will not sit because its length is being fixed and whole position is fixed. So these are the system which will correct itself. This is an example. This is a fully fixed connection, whereas this is a simply supported connection. There is no top bar connectivity, whereas here there will be a top bar, there will be a junction detailing. All those things will be there. Above that, one more column is going to come. So this will act as a perfect monolithic connection. This is a very high strength. You see here, it is flowing. This is a very high strength cementitious mix, so that your M40 will get achieved in second day, so that you can erect the element in the next floor following day. And it should have a free flow, it should not shrink, it should have a early strength. So these are the parameters which we need to have for this grout, high strength grout, and by which we are going for a faster erection. Now we'll see the shear wall. In the wall, you see whatever opening you have, you need to have, you can have it. You can have an electrical line. You can, whatever you want, if you can decide previously, that same can be incorporated in the element before its erection itself. I told you the surface finish is so glossy that you can directly go for painting. It's like a male-female joint, that's all. This is a typical slab system. You see here, there is a ledge which will be given, and similarly in beam there will be a L cut, so that this will seat here. And you see there are number of bars which will be bent back, and there will be a common reinforcement which will be done all through the slab like conventional, and there will be a common concreting for 75 mm. So the entire structure will be become monolithic. That means after concreting, you will not see any difference between the precast and cast and chew. That means after the slab, another 75 mm concrete is going to come. That concrete will connect all these lateral elements. These are the bars which will be bent, and the reinforcement will be tied all through the floors like your conventional slab system, and there will be a concreting done, which you will see in the following slide. So at the outset, we can cast whatever you can do it in cast and chew. That's what I shown here. See, the main advantage of precast will come in the basement structure, where you have a waterlogging problem. This is a single wall for 3 basement. In heavy congested area where you have a water table problem, neighbor problem, all those things, and soil instability, those areas under precast is a very useful option, particularly for an industrial structure like this. You see, from here to here is a single column. In conventional, if you want to cast this column, I know the person who are in construction site, they will understand the difficulty. Whereas here you see even at this point, the compaction is equal to the compaction at this point, which is very rare in your conventional system. So for industrial and basement, this is the best option. And these are the retaining wall. Another best option is you can go for the retaining wall up to 10 meter, which otherwise will take a lot of time to cast at site. And you can have a single monolithic casted water tank. You see the whatever you want, even your face can be impregnated on the surface. That is not possible in cast and chew. So these are the unique properties of this precast. You see, this is a Tirupati temple. Even the small engravings can be captured. Only thing we have to good at our slump and concrete technology. That's all. The main intention to show this is we can do any type of projects in precast. That's the main intention to show this one. We'll see some of the projects so that you will understand the capability of precast. This and all you see is a single casting, which is not possible in a cast and chew. This wall with this projection and all are single casted element. When anyone asks whether precast can take the earthquake, this is one structure where we done in Delhi with the highest earthquake zone. And whatever you seen here is an extended basement, which is down, and above that there is a soil filling and there is a garden. So whatever you're seeing here is a structure below, and there is a 2 tower coming up. As of now, this is the largest precast structure standing on base isolation in India. This is a location where we kept base isolation. The entire structure of this entire structure is standing on the bearings, not on the foundation. As I told, wherever possible, we'll go for a wall. Even infill wall also, we used to go in precast such a way that as and when it gets erected, your interior can be started. That's the main intention. So next, whatever I explain, if you see through your eyes, the step by step, you will come to know what is precast. That's the main intention of a project I taken, lifeline of a project. This typically a structural wall slab system of G+10. This architect has given to us. This is a plan. You just go through these slides. It is a self-explanatory. This is a double. Up to this point is a cast in tube. Up to this is a cast in tube. You see the walls being ready for erection. You see the glossiness. Particularly in seashore area, this will help you. So this what is a top view. All thing we will try to make it as a wall system. And this is a slab. I told whatever the rod which is projection from this wall, which will be bent back into the screeding. You see here. All the wall elements will be bent back. That means your all the structural wall is tied together with this top concrete side. This is a shear connector which will make to act as a composite section, and this is after screeding, you see. And this wall is being ready for next wall erection. Similarly, this is a Kodangulam. And someone will say precast will leak. That is not true. Here, this is a precast structure which has been constructed and it has been occupied for 1 year, and they got all the complaints including pipeline choke. After that only they awarded this structure which we completed in Kodangulam, and now they are going to award another 15 towers like this. It will be otherwise very difficult for them to execute. This is done in 1 year. Otherwise it will take, I think so, minimum 2 years. This is a taller structure which we done in Vizag. This I mainly included to show the even the French type of elevation can be done in precast, but only thing the mold cost will increase. Otherwise it can be done. This is interior finish. That's why I'm saying when you after finishing you will not find any difference between precast and cast in tube. You see all kind of openings can be made if it is pre-planned. Yeah. This now slowly moving into the students side. For the students, I want to tell one few point. In conventional, you will do the structure design. You will satisfy all the codal requirements. Then you will prepare the drawing. Whereas here, that will come as a last part. Before forming the structural system, which is otherwise a simple system, will become complicated due to production facility which you have. It should be producible, transportable and erectable. Suppose in a particular project where my crane capacity is only 50 ton, then I have to make my structural system altered to suit that 50 ton crane. Otherwise it will be easier to satisfy the code. But still I have this requirement. Another thing is during the erection I am doing it zone wise. So I have to do the construction stage analysis. So these are the different things which is little extra when you come for precast. That means what I want to say, the person who is designing will come to know the each and everything. He has to visualize everything before choosing a frame system. Then after fixing all those things, then we have to satisfy all our IS code for both for gravity and lateral. This is a typical architectural drawing. From here we will decide based on the layout. I will first decide how many zones we can divide the building. You see here, this is a main road. This is a first zone. The crane will erect second. It will like this. It will come out and it will come out in this road. So first I will fix the erection zone. Based on that only our framing plan will come. Then I will fix the framing plan. You see here, another advantage is each and every element will have its individual ID. And that individual ID will have full results. Who checked that? What is the engineer in that shift? Everything you can trace. Another thing is before starting the project, if you have 12,022 elements, means 12,022 elements will be known in the first day. So when elements are known, your time is have less uncertainty. You have a very good planning for time and money. That's the advantage of precast. It's a commercial structure, mega structure. That's why I just want you to show. This is a tree basement wall which I told earlier. finished, shop opened in 87th day, which otherwise it will take some, I think 1.5 years. For these kind of structure, their daily turnover will be in the terms of 1.5 crores. You think 300 crores is saved now. For the 300 crores, giving 10% extra for precast is nothing for them. So these kind of project, precast is much cheaper. And this photo to show you the difference between the conventional and cast and chew, when for a particularly, as I told, for industrial building, where your height of the slab is more than 5 meters. You see the shuttering like a bridge they done. This is a portion they started in cast and chew, then they realized that it is going to take lot of time. They given this entire structure in precast. You see the difference in next slide. This they didn't complete even. Still this part of shuttering is been going on. I completed, the truss is been erected and I came out. So that's why for long span like 15 meter, 16 meter and a single column of height of 50 feet can be done in precast in such a way that the industrial project can be done, I think 1/5 of the time. So it's very suitable for industrial project, I say. You see the height of the structure. You see the quality. Again, this is a German company, that's why they came for precast. This is a hollow core slab, I told no. For 15 meter, we can go for a columnless structure. This has been done in Bangalore. This is a typically this. Actually, I studied in VAT. I just want to include. I want to during my studies. I thought I dream like I want to construct a building for VAT. So luckily, my structure lab is been built by me. That too in precast. So that's why I purposely included. What I want to say is, dream it, you will achieve it. That's what I want to say. It's a dynamic lab for VAT. Yeah, thank you. I think I given you a glimpse of precast in the given time. See, what I want to say is still government policy should be there to encourage this technology, but somehow it is picking up now. And this is a very good potential construction methodology, which is definitely having a future. That's what I want to say. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Satyaseelan. You have given a very nice presentation with a real-time example and shown a practicality, and hope that participants would enjoy that practicality that you have shown in terms of video, and you have shown your real example that your company. Thank you very much. We look forward for future collaborations also.
Yeah, sure. Thank you. All the best.
Yeah, thank you very much, sir. Thank you. Thank you for your time. Krishna, please proceed with the next proceedings.
Yes, sir. Thank you so much, sir, for such an immensely valuable talk, and we are grateful to you for all the assistance and support you have bestowed towards ScTACE 2021. Once again, thank you so much, sir. And now it's time for the day 3 panel session, and we will gather at 12:15 p.m. IST for the valediction of ScTACE 2021. I request the authors and listeners to kindly join the respective panels at least 5 minutes before the start of the panel session, and it's mandatory for the presenters to turn on their videos while presenting their work. The joining links for respective panels are mailed to you, and all I wish you good luck with the presentations.
Thank you. Yeah, we'll end the session and then we'll shortly join back at 12:15 sharp. Okay?
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir.